Bam. Right there, bam. I haven't brushed my teeth. I'm really gonna go do that. Alright. That's all, man. I'm brushing my teeth. I got out of bed a bit late. Hello. How are y'all? I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Blah, 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 blah. How? How are you, doll? I'm okay. I'm tired of brushing my teeth. Awake is okay. Me too. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the sink. Hello. Ugh, I'm bad. I'm cold. I'm cold and bad. Eh.
Okay, I've put on covers. Covers now surround me. Yippee. Yeah. Yum yum. Okay. Gotta add everyone thing. I don't know what to do. I'm tired. Okay. That. And now everyone is gonna be like, OMG, on with tire. No way. And then I'm gonna be like, it's true. And it's gonna be like, wow. Holy moly. And then it's just gonna go crazy. Yum, yum, yum. Hola. Hello. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. How you doing, man? I'm a tired boy right now. I'm a very tired boy. I gotta say, I'm probably like top 3 tired boy right now. If you could believe it. I mean, it's probably true. It's probably true. Oh, I hate that I get mucus stuck in the back of my throat whenever I wake up. Hello. Hello, lol gaming. Hello. Man, what? Man, I'm tired, okay? Man, I'm just a tired boy. Just a tired little boy. Okay. Oh, thank you for the 40 bits. Thank you, man. Was that 40 bits? That's 40 bits, right? Yeah, it says 40 bits. Thank you. Thank you for the bits. Thank you, man. Yeah, my nose. Bro's a tire. I'm a tire right now, man. Dude, I'm like Ford F-150 tire. I'm like a Ford F-150 tire right now. That's how tired I am. I'm trying. I'm trying to stay awake. I don't know what we're doing today. The whole week to think about it, and I have no idea. Why are you tired? Last night I was on my computer, right? I did some code. I did some coding for the controller, the chat controller. I was fixing it. And after that, I was watching a stream and taking notes on said stream. And then I went to bed. But the problem was that the stream lasted until like 12. Usually I go to bed at 11. And it's not like a big change, but when you wake up at like 7:30, it's a decent change. I'm that kind of guy that like needs a lot of sleep. My body is one that like wants more sleep than the average Joe, you know. Literally me today, I know. Like most people get by like 8 hours like yes, this is good. Some people 7 hours, they're amazing. For me it's like, bro, I need 9 hours and that's it. Some people feel amazing with 5 hours. Those people are insane. Um, Me personally, I need like 9 hours to function. Optimal is 9 hours. So I lost those hours. I lost them. This is that's what happened. I was watching Snuffy. If any of you know the raccoon VTuber, they were doing a new thing where they were reading a book live on stream, and I found it very interesting. It was very, very interesting. And yeah, that's the business. It was a very cozy stream. I liked it. Also, I might sneeze or burp. Probably burp actually. Okay, sorry. I did warn you. Sorry. Do you guys have any idea what we should do today? Where's the thing that we should be doing today? Gamers, what's happening? What's the situation? What's going on today? Oh yeah, did you guys know the Snake Eater remake, the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remake? It's gonna be coming out soon. I think in like 4 days. I think. Hold on, let me see. Snake Eater. It's coming out the 28th. The dude from Fortnite? No, the dude from Smash. The dude from Super Smash Brothers. You're thinking about the wrong guy. You made a game about him? Yep. They made a couple. He was just so popular. His ass in Super Smash was just like so otherworldly. You know, they had to. They had to. Also, I find it so funny that like whenever I'm doing any like just chatting kind of stuff, like I'm not playing a game, I'm just like super small in the corner. It's great. It's great. It's a great thing. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, that's what Smash so much. He got his own games. That's what I'm saying, man. People are like, this guy's bullshit. He keeps this guy's bullshit. All his attacks are bullshit. Get him out of the game. And then they did. They got him out of the game and into his own. I can't wait. I haven't played the original Snake Eater, but I did play the original Metal Gear Solid. That was a lot of fun. And apparently the third one's like the best. So I mean some people will differ. But I'd like to see what's going on in there. To be honest, those games were pretty metal, all those Solid Gears. True. That's really true though. Let me see here. Yeah, like I love honestly playing Metal Gear Solid was like the best time. I didn't play it as a child, right? Uh I played it. It was a couple years back, I think, when I was like in college. Um, a couple friends and I were like, "There's these games that we really need to play, right? Like, there's these games in our libraries that are like classics, like, or like we've been needing to be playing this, but we haven't in a very long time." So what we decided to do is one at a time. Each of us would play through our game until the end, and the other ones would like be chilling, like play, like watching them play. Like we might be doing our own things, but we'd be watching them play, and that was the plan, and it worked to great effect. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I think we started like with one of my friends, and I think they were playing. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It wasn't Metal Gear for all of us. Actually, it might have been Persona. It might have been one of the Personas. But basically, that's what we did. Like, we watched the entirety of a playthrough, and then the next person played the game, and then we watched the entirety of that playthrough, and then it was me, right? And I chose Metal Gear Solid, and we had so much fun with it that like we were like, oh, we should continue this. And then I went to Metal Gear Solid 2, but like I got it like just wasn't working well, so we just didn't continue after that. We should continue that again. We should start that up. It was a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, so for Metal Gear Solid, what happened was we started off. I was playing the game as normal, it was fun time, and then at the end of the day, at the end of the night, or rather, I saved the game and then closed it, right? And then the next day, for some reason, my save just didn't work, and none of the saves worked. And that's because on the PC version, I had to like make a file for the saves to go into for some reason. Like it didn't do that by itself. So the just saves just like didn't work. So I was like, all right, guys, I have a plan. I'm going to look up a speed run of Metal Gear Solid. And I'm going to try and speed run until we get to the place where I was supposed to be. Right? I was like, okay, I'm going to speed run to the place where we were, and then we'll just continue as normal. So then that night, I watched through like an entire speed run of the game, and then I watched a speedrun tutorial, but I watched like up to like half of it. I like watched half the speedrun tutorial, and I was like, okay, we're good. And then the next day, we get into call, and I'm like, all right, guys, I watched a full speedrun and half a speedrun tutorial, so I'm basically ready. Let's do this. So then I get into the game, and then immediately I start pulling off all these tricks like second or third try. And then we get to the point where I was, which was like it's might be a little bit spoilers if you don't know Metal Gear Solid, but at the same time you should know Metal Gear Solid. Um, it was the torture scene, and for some reason that scene is like impossible. The spamming required to like survive that is crazy, and because I didn't have any saves, if I failed that sequence, I would have to restart and redo it. Like they restart the entire game to get to that point. So I did it. And then after that, I basically just continued on doing a speed run of the whole game. Like I would just be like, let me try this trick that I saw in the speed run. I think it'd be funny. And then I do it like second or second or third try. So basically I just like speed ran the entire game, and then like my friends were going crazy as well as I was because I was just like beating the entire game. It's like immediately. I was speedrunning it so quickly. It was great. It was a great time. Because it was like because remember I watched half of a speedrun tutorial. And with just that I was able to speedrun the entire game. It was great. It was a great time. So it became an inside joke after that. Like whenever I need to do something difficult, they're just like, bro, just watch half a speedrun. What are you talking about? Just watch half a speedrun. Need to get your degree, bro. Just watch half a just watch half a speedrun of the degree. You're good. And that's how I became a legend amongst my friends. I feel like no one understood what I was saying, and that was just like insane rambling. But that's okay. I'll accept it. I'll accept it. How to speed run your university degree? Exactly. Man, I just have to like watch like half of the class. I just have to watch like half of every lecture, and then I'm good. All the other information during the lecture at the end, like no, that doesn't matter. I'll just parse the information from the first half. It's all good. What do I do? What do I do today? Do I play a game? Do I do something else? Oh yeah, also I got some merch yesterday. I bought some merch of my Oshi. Uh some of you, actually none of you probably know. I bet if I asked everyone, every single person that has ever watched me, none of them will be able to answer the question. And that's okay. I accept. I accept the fact that no one will know. But it's fine because I'll probably say it anyway. uh I got some OB Katie Cat merch. Love me some OB Katie Cat. Oh, now viewer retention, huh? No problem. I know it's hard to pay attention under these circumstances when I have no Subway Surfers on the screen. Pay attention! Pay attention right now! Alright. Paying attention now? Alright, good. Good. Yeah, so I got I got a keychain. I got a t-shirt. And the mucus in my throat. And I got some card sleeves, which I was surprised that was something they had. Yeah, they had some card sleeves. Really cool. Yeah. Obi's cool. I don't know why I'm calling them Obi. I should be calling them Katie. um, but yeah, they're cool. They're cool and stuff and things. All these peeps so cool, so cool and awesome. I need to write this down. Okay, there you go. Down, down, down. Yeah. I have a bunch of stickers and like keychains and stuff. I need to figure out where to put them. Well, keychains probably put it on like with the keys. Duh, but I don't know what to do with stickers. Cuz I want to put them somewhere that like I'm going to, you know, I'm not going to want to take them off and put them somewhere else later, you know. I need to put them on a permanent place. A permanent location. But I don't know where. I don't know where that'd be. I had the thought of my laptop, but I was like, I don't. Honestly, I kind of want to replace that laptop, so probably not. And like my computer, not sure about my computer. But then it was just like, what? What else? My phone. But like, if I have to change this phone in 5 years, I don't want to do that. That is the thing. But I mean, I guess that's the only places you can put them, right? I don't know. IDK, as they say. Ugh. Yeah, the chat controller, I'll have to change it to the milliseconds. But I'm like thinking about how I'd have to do that, and I'm like, ugh. Ugh. That would be a pain. That will be a pain to do. I will hate doing that. Also with Millis, does Millis probably in C, but that's just a guess. No, it's just because you talking about changing the delay to Millis, and I was like thinking about it when I was thinking of the changes, and like you're right, I'll have to do that if I want to do concurrence. If I want to do concurrent spam and different amounts of delay, then I will have to do that. But the problem is that means I'll have to like double the size of the code. I was dog tired. Yes. No, because yeah, if I want concurrent spam or different amounts of delay lengths, then I'll have to like double the amount. I'll have like double the amount of code. I don't want to do that, but I probably will have to. I'm sure there'd be an easier way to do it than what like I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it. So therefore, it's not happening. So we're just gonna have to deal with the idea I come up with, which is basically having an if else for everything except having to do with the current millisecond. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Which is gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of longs. It is gonna be a lot bigger, the file size. Worst case scenario, I just don't do it because I might just have to not do it just because of the possibility of the file size being so big. Best case scenario, you guys have a good old time with the new controller. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. That's alright, man. Would it be easier to use the ESP32 as a chatbot and then dump serial output into a Python code running on your PC? No, because that wouldn't be able to do what I wanted to do. First of all, it wouldn't be able to do what I wanted to do. Second of all, I could just do that with with the ESP2866 that I have right now. Because what I'm doing right now is the ESP2866 is reading the chat and then serial outputting to the Arduino Pro Micro. So already I'm doing that technically. The only difference would be that I'd be plugging directly Arduino as a controller. Exactly. The only difference is that I would be plugging it like either directly or through something. I'd be plugging it into my computer. Like I wouldn't need an ESP32. Yeah. The reason why it wouldn't work is because the Arduino is acting as a HID. So whatever I plug it into thinks it is literally an Xbox controller, which makes it a lot easier to work with. Does the ESP32 pass all strings across the serial port to the Arduino? No, just the messages. I mean, technically it does do all of them, but the only strings that it passes are the messages. But technically, when I plug it in, it also like sends the serial for um connecting to Wi-Fi and stuff. But like that's only at the start that it uses those, and then after that, the only strings that it outputs are the messages from chat. Yeah, but it's much easier to work with as a HID because then whatever I plug it into will think it's an Xbox controller, which means I could even plug if I wanted to. We could literally plug that controller, the chat controller, into an actual Xbox 360, and it would work. It would work as an actual controller if I plugged it into an Xbox 360, which is why I prefer it. Not to say that we're going to do that. I mean, we probably will, but like that's not why. But it just makes it easier to interface with because it also makes it easier if I want multiple controllers or if I want to like if we're doing multiplayer, it's much easier to have something that acts as its own HID than having a Python script trying to emulate that because it can't. It can't emulate its own like driver, you know. But Python code can't emulate its own driver. At least not. I assume not in the way that I need it to. It's a necessary limitation for what we're doing. The only thing I really need to worry about with it is just like how much memory it could hold for the code and how fast that code will run. Right now, it's pretty fast, but I'm scared that if I double the size, even if it could take it, it might like slow it down a bunch. Would it be easier on the ESP to break down the strings to only the specific commands, basically cut out user, up, down, then right, left, long to just up, down, right, left, and have the Arduino just pass through those individual commands? Um, mm, it might be easier because it would be more evenly distributed using I2C as well, right? I don't know what that is. Integrated circuit is a synchronous two-wire serial communication bus that allows multiple controllers. I'm using like the TX-RX for serial communication, if that's what you're asking. which I think is I2C. It would make some things easier, but I think I want to keep it the way it is just to make it, because coding the ESP8266 is hell, right? It is a pain in the ass to code it. But coding the Arduino is easy. So I think just so that I don't have to deal with coding on the ESP8266, I prefer doing that, because in the future, if I want to do different code, it's much easier to just like have a thing that just gets me the chat, because then I could just much more easily on the Arduino side I could just do stuff. It's a CAN bus, so what you could do is use the ESP to hold the individual commands, and when the Arduino tells the ESP to pass the next command every cycle, it's ready for it. That's true. And then Arduino would have to have, for each individual button, check the milliseconds, and then yeah, it would make it like slightly easier, but like when I mean slight, I mean slight, you know. It would make it slightly easier. If I haven't already used, then skip it. Yeah. It's because in the for me, it's like in the future, if I want to do different things based on chat, it's very easy because I could just use the ESP8266 and then just change the code of the Arduino or whatever else I'm using the ESP with. Or you could use up to reset the time it's held. I don't know what you mean by that. Not sure what you were meaning by this. Text block incoming. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready. Promotion. I'm ready. Promotion. I'm ready. Promotion. Because right now the code would be, if I'm changing it to millis, I need to have a check for every button, basically. I have to check every button for their milliseconds to see if they pass and then release that specific button, which would double the amount of code because I'd have to do something for every single button input. And that would suck. That would suck a lot. I don't know what to do today. Like, just chatting is fine, but like, it'd be nice to have something on the screen while we're just chatting. Maybe I should also have some background music. Arduino receives up and presses the up command for 250 milliseconds, arbitrary number. Then on the next cycle, it processes also an up, but the timer is at 240, so it resets the timer back to 250 and it continues the next line. Arduino receives up and presses the up command. Then the next cycle presses also up. The timer is at 240. Yeah, but either way, I still have to deal with the millis thing. It's basically what you're saying is like it's not the thing I had in mind, but it like utilizes the same idea kind of what I had in mind. Like just inherent like through inherency, like the inherent way it works. If A already active, reset time to 250. Else press A for 250. Yeah. That's what I mean is that either way, in either scenario, I'm doubling the code. I'm doubling the amount of code I have because I have to add the check of 250. Because with delay, it just delays. But the problem with that is that it delays the entire code. Like the entire code has to wait. That's the bottleneck right now. The bottleneck is with delay is that the entire code stops during that like 250. So what you're saying is what we need to do for future things is that we need to have a check for the code. We need to have the check for the amount of time. You're doubling the code on the Arduino, right? Yeah. But either way, I would have to double. Even if I changed the ESP with the changes that you talked about before to just the individual commands, the code would still be doubled. Like no matter what, it's going to be doubled. And when I say double, I mean like a rough estimate. Like it's probably not going to be exactly double. It's probably going to be a little bit less than double, but it's still going to be doubled. Because right now, the code that I could keep is the one that presses. But the problem is now we need to add code to check for when to release. That's the thing that is causing the double. Because now for each button press, I have to check is the timer done? If it is, let go of the button. And I have to do that for every single button. Because if I do it for the controller as a whole, could you prototype some code right now? We could post on just a single button. Sure. Sure. We got time. I guess I can do this. Is this gonna work? Can I just do this? Alright. That's not gonna work actually. Never mind. Let me open up Arduino. I was gonna also get you some things on the screen. That's true. Restart. A setting has changed that requires a restart to take effect. I just opened you. Why can't you do the restart without me opening you? You piece of shit. Why I'm in full screen? What is this? If this is the change, I hate it. Please fix yourself. I don't want to deal with this. What the fuck is happening? Sorry for my language. What is happening? Where is huh? Where's my stuff? Are you serious? Do I gotta close you again? Arduino? You bastard? Hold on, Arduino's being mean. It's not a destroy my computer kind of mean. It's just being a shitter right now. Okay, there you go. Alright, now we're good. Let me do this. Okay. Do boop. What is this? Hold on. Okay. I don't know why it's being weird like that. Anyway, it does that sometimes. Yeah, it's being a bit weird. Um, basically, we have the code here, right? Process single input. I'll just do it with the A button. The A button's an easy thing to deal with. This is just like code. So let's say we have this, right? We have this input. What we would need is then to set some kind of integer, some kind of like global integer, right? By default, let's say it's like 1. Then this would just change it to be the current one, right? And then that's the start millis, but then we just do, and at the beginning of every loop, we do this as well. Now current millis will always be going, so we just do current millis minus a millis is greater or equal to like, let's say the 250 like you said before, and then if it is, then we do that. That's it. So what this does is, actually then we have to do a millis equals -1. That's it. Ugh. So this is just getting us the current time, right, in milliseconds. And then whenever we're pressing the button, we're just setting the A button time to the current time. And then afterwards, like after a couple iterations, this will keep updating. This won't, right? So let's say I set this at like, I set this at like 1000, right? So this is going to be 1000. So at second 1, this will be 1 second. This will be 1 second. This will be equal to 0, so it doesn't do anything. Continue. Next couple of loops, you know, this will like keep going. These will keep incrementing. It's going to keep incrementing, right? Eventually this will get to this. This doesn't update because we only pressed the button once, right? It's still being held throughout this entire time. But as soon as it reaches this, 1250 minus 1000 is equal to 250. The reason why we don't make it just equal is because it's possible that in an iteration, it'll skip a second or skip a millisecond, rather. So it might be this. It might go like directly from 248 to 1252. So that's why it's this. And then at this point, we go in here, we release it, and then we change this to -1. So actually what we need as well is we need another thing. We need to make sure a millis is not -1. Now this is just a placeholder, not a placeholder, it's just like a safety net. -1 we do just to make sure that we're only releasing the button when we've pressed it. If it's -1, then we know we haven't pressed the button because it's -1. Right? Contentional exceptions gracefully. Exactly. To be honest, it probably wouldn't be an issue to remove this. Like, it probably wouldn't cause any issues, but I'm just not sure how big a number millis is. That's my bottleneck. The thing I don't know. I'm not sure if millis like will ever be an issue. You know? It's very possible that it will be. Actually, I'll do that. Okay. Because I'm not sure if this will ever wrap around. It's an unsigned long. It might wrap around at some point. Yeah, if this is unsigned, it won't work the way. I don't code options, so I'd rather not code off. Man, that's fine. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. That means I can't make this that, which means I'll just change it to 0. Is 0 a thing in unsigned? An unsigned long? Does unsigned long have 0? Or does it go straight to 1? Data type ranges. Show me. Okay, it does have 0. Great. Good. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, now here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. This means 2 things. With this code. This means 2 things. 1, it means I'm doubling the code because for every press input, I have to add a release input, right? But also, I am assigning a bunch of bytes because I have to do one for everything, right? I have to do one for B, X, Y. I have to do one for LB. I have to do one for RB. L3, R3, LT, RT. I have to do one for look. I have to do one for move. I have to do one for the D-pad. I have to do a lot. How much space do you have available? Is this possible? I don't know. I have no idea. That's the thing. I have no idea. How much memory? Apparently it has 32 gigabytes. Gigabytes. It has 32 kilobytes. In that case, I should be fine. If it has 32 kilobytes, I should be fine. That is a lot of space. I should be more than fine. Because I think right now, the current code, this has... how much is it? 13. This one uses 13 right now. 13 kilobytes. Which is a lot. It's a lot of code. I just broke your chat display. What did you do? I don't know. Can't see this message. Oh shit, I can't see that message. It's over. But this message you can see. Yeah, I'm sure there's better ways to do this code. Also, I do have some like redundant code. Like this, I could just remove this. I could remove some code. But yeah. You see, like this is a lot. Well, there you go. You found the secret weapon. Yeah, so this is the problem. Is that this is a lot. It's a lot. Again, I'm sure that there's going to be some ways to reduce it. I just don't know it yet. Also, another issue is this is probably going to slow down the code a lot. Because I will have to do this for every button. when they're relevant. Okay. Yeah, but like this is going to take a lot of time. Because it's gonna have to do this for every single button. It's gonna have to do this minus this, check if it's greater than, and is it this? It's gonna have to do this a lot. A lot, a lot. I think it would be slightly faster if I did this. I think it's gonna be slightly faster because uh for code, at least for the most part, I'm not sure if Arduino is the same. It should. It'll just check the first thing before it continues. If this is true, then it will run this. If this is true, then it will run this. But if this is true and this is false, obviously it skips, right? Because both have to be true. But the final thing, if this is false, it's not even going to check about this. It's not going to check. It's just going to skip immediately, which means this is slightly faster just because I just have to check the millis if it's 0. So if the button's not being pressed, it skips most of the things, which should reduce the time so I don't have to worry as much. Because the big worry is this, right? This is the big bottleneck there. Define LED pin 5. Sorry, LED. Unsigned long, LED on time 0. Bool LED active false. Constant, unsigned long, blink duration 250. Digital write. LED pin high, LED on time equals millis. LED active, if LED active, and millis minus LED on time, rather than blur information, digital write, LED pin, low LED active equals false. Too true. Because what I'm scared of is if I'm live for 3 hours, right? Is that enough for milliseconds for an unsigned long? Is that enough time for it to break? You know what I mean? Is it gonna break at that time? That's what I'm afraid of. It shouldn't. You wouldn't think so. Let me see. Let me see here. I could very quickly check this. Data type ranges. Unsigned long. Unsigned long is 0 to 4 billion. Okay. So 4 billion milliseconds to seconds, I guess. So what I need is seconds to hours. All right, it's 1,000 hours. We're good. It's fine. It's 1,000 hours. We're good. It's an unsigned long. Even if it was a signed long, it'd probably still work. Yeah, okay. Then we're good. We're good. There's no need to worry, I guess. The reason I wrote the blink command is for my ESP32 chat logger. It reads Twitch chat. If there's a chat message, it blinks the LED to grab my attention, then outputs it to a serial to display on screen in Python. I've never had an issue. Oh, nice. So that's for you to like better reply to people or something. I love the nod emotes. They're so cute. Niski. I don't know who that is. I saw her. I'm really looking at the monitor. True and fair and based. All right, let me look up who's Niski. Niski, show up. Who are you? All right, what technology do you do? Listen, if I know my boy Sparks, then I know that you do something. You do some electronics, or you've done electronics in your time. It has to be real. It has to be true. Maybe you're not. Maybe not. So I've been watching her for a while. Very nice. Very nice. Because I know Ellie Midibot, I know Oriana. I've seen them. I haven't seen Niski before. I used to be a DGen WoW Mythic Plus addict, currently relapsing. Now I don't know what I am. She's so real. An A-stable multi-vibrator? What is an A-stable? That's what I want to know. What is an A-stable? A-stable. First I built down a breadboard, then I soldered all to a perf board. 2 blinking LEDs. Beep, 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 beep. In electronics, A-stable describes a type of circuit that has no stable output state, and therefore oscillates continuously between 2 output levels, producing a square wave or a pulse trend. I see. I see. Now, is that like random, or is A-stable kind of like is it random, or is it like deterministic? Hi, Tony. Hello. Hello, Tony. Hi. My next project, I'll do a H bridge to control a DC motor. Words, am I right? H bridge is used to supply power to a true terminal device. By proper arrangement of the switches, the polarity of the power to the device can be changed. 2 examples are discussed below. Okay. Okay, so it just makes it easy. Okay. I see how it works. Yep, alright. It starts random, but after it started, it follows a very predictable order based on the size of the capacitors and the resistors used. There's no real way to know which LED will start the process. I see. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. So that's like not mechanical, but it's not like a code. It's not a code kind of solution. It's not a coding solution. It's very much a thingy solution. Electronic solution. Totally hardware driven. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, it must be Onwa. What? It must be what, huh? Who, where? Tony, what are you talking about? Speak to me, Tony. What's happening? That's a lot of nods. A lot of nods. It's a lot. It's a lot of nods. You know, it'd be like super ambitious, probably won't work at all, but would be really cool for a project to do on stream that would never work and require like way too much mathematics and understanding of things. What you mentioned about, I don't know, man. Making making a mini at home quantum computer, right? So what you do, let's say you only have 1 qubit. Just give yourself 1 qubit, nothing else. A 1 qubit quantum computer. I don't think you could do anything with that. But just imagine. Just imagine it. An at-home singular qubit computer. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be a great time? I'm not even sure where to start with that. I know how to hand wrap RAM. Does that count? Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing, right? I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know how qubits work. I don't even know if you could do anything with a 1 qubit. Let me look it up. Is anything possible with 1 qubit? Can a qubit hold more than a bit? No. No, anything is not possible with a single qubit because a single qubit has limited computational power, its ability to perform complex calculations. Yep. That's what I thought. Yeah, maybe like 2 qubits you could do something. You could definitely do something with 2 qubits, but I don't think you could do something with 1 qubit. Also, I'm not even sure if you guys know what the hell a qubit is. A qubit is a quantum bit, which quantum computers use. It would be cool to like make your own computer though, like using info, using info. I did write down like a couple ideas for different things. I do want to make some stuff for stream. I just know it's possible still more than a 1 or 0. Well, not exactly. So what a qubit is all right. I need to get out the paint.net. I guess. Let me get the MS Paint out. It's time to shittily explain what the qubit is. All right. So so um a qubit, right, is technically in like a Schrodinger's cat kind of state where it's neither a 1 nor a 0, but more specifically, it's leaning towards one of them. So you could kind of like imagine it as like an arrow pointing up or down, right? And if it's like above this line, if it's above this line, it's a 1. If it's below this line, it's a 0. Okay? And it's just kind of like it's between them. Like you don't know where it is exactly, but it's somewhere, right? It's somewhere there. Okay? You get that part? This part makes sense? Instead of it just being a 1 or a 0, it's somewhere. It's somewhere there. Okay? Now, what you're doing is you don't know what the number is. You don't know like you don't know where the arrow's pointing. It could be pointing anywhere. You don't know. Okay? That's why we're saying it's like in a Schrodinger cat kind of state. You don't know until you open the box, all right? Until you look at the bit, you don't know where it is. Okay? As soon as you observe it, right? As soon as I look at the bit to tell where it is, immediately it will shoot up or it will shoot down depending on where it's pointed, right? Since this one's pointing slightly up, as soon as I observe it, it will boom, become a 1. It is now a 1. Okay? The idea is that if you have a bunch of these, right? Am I seeing again? I don't know. Are you? You tell me. Ezekiel, classes were over. They're never over. As long as you're alive, you will see. Right, this one could be pointing like this way. This one could be pointing that way. Quantum computers specifically are used with very specific mathematical models. All right. It's kind of like how it works is like if they use like certain like checks and like very complicated math with like hard like high level calculus and stuff to like determine certain things, and then it's kind of like a cascading effect, right? Where you could do math on these bits, and then they'll like some of them will slightly change, some of them will do bigger changes, right? But overall, like some of them might even like become directly, they might like become like this one immediately has become a one. And then it kind of like creates a cascading effect where like, okay, this one, boom, this one has become a one, this one has become a one, this one has become a zero, you know? It's like hard to explain, but like basically quantum computers use they could like only work with like mathematical models that were specifically made for them to solve specific problems using high level calculus and quantum mechanics to like create a cascading effect to find the answer quicker. Yeah. It's basically like let's say we're looking at this one, right? It's like depending on these mathematical things and these bits near you, you could the only likelihood is that there's like a 90% chance that you are a 1. So we're just going to make you a 1. And then because you're a 1, this bit next to you could only be a 0 because of these things in the mathematical model. And because of that, this one could only be a 0 too, because if this one's 0, this one has to be a 0 because of look at the math, right? That's how it works. It's like because of these checks and because of this math, you could only be this. So you are therefore this. And then that creates a cascading effect. I can't like it's hard to explain because it's like you need to understand some things which like I can't teach. I can't like I don't even know what I would have to teach honestly to be able to explain it. But like that's what it means. It's like they could only really be 1 or 0, but it's the uncertainty of if whether they are 1 or 0 that causes that like that causes the like important thing. Yeah. Yep. So normal computers are high-speed idiots and they do exactly what we tell them to. Quantum computers are high-speed guesswork until it's observed. Yeah, basically. So basically like the only way to like get something out of quantum computers is to like have written like very specific math. Like you have to have like very specific mathematical models. You have to spend a lot of time trying to optimize that for the quantum computers specifically. Quantum computers are like they're like very specialized questions. Normal computers are high speed for whatever question you want to ask. Quantum computers are very high speed for very specific questions you want to ask. Yeah. Quantum computers are good for specific questions. Normal computers are good for everyday questions. Like you shouldn't use quantum computers for every single math question too. You should only use it for like specific kinds of math questions. What kind of specific questions? That's above my pay grade. That's above my pay grade, man. but like it's very like complex scientific stuff. Or it could also honestly be used for cryptography. It's also very good for cryptography. They just do specific questions. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like it could probably break encryptions a lot easier. Yeah, it could break encryptions. Logistic questions like what was the hold on, my brain's racking. Hold on. What was that called again? The traveling salesman problem. Or stuff like simulations for drug designs or like interactions with like planets, I guess. IDK. For breaking encryptions. Now, I'm not saying like it could only be used to break encryptions. I'm saying like think of what that means really. Like type only a handful of people have to use. Exactly. It's not good for like the everyday Joe. The everyday Joe doesn't need it. It's only really for logistics problems, really, or optimizations in certain fields. It's not like oh, if we make this commercially like viable, like there's no commercial viability for this. Like even if you didn't have to like have like a whole refrigerator to run this thing in, it still wouldn't be useful to anyone apart from like if you're working in MIT, you know, if you're trying to get your master's or your doctorate, like it's not useful to you at all. Quantum computers are not useful to you in the slightest. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, breaking encryption because of the cascading problem, like I was saying. But if we built it and the math to run Crisis, we could finally break 100 FPS. No, not really. If anything, it would probably run slower. Ah! Hi, Neon. Hi. Hi. If anything, it would probably run slower. But, but, if you made the math for it, I'm pretty sure it would make it would make generation models a lot quicker, probably. Maybe not a lot quicker, but it would. I'm pretty sure it would make those kind of things quicker. So, like for a very basic example, you could probably have like a Minecraft world to generate like way quicker. Like if you wanted to make a Minecraft, like an infinite Minecraft world, it would probably be able to generate that a lot quicker. But other things would probably be slower. But things for like general use would probably be slower. Also, I'm bleeding out. Neon bit me 3 different times, so I'm dead. I'm dead. Can you repeat from the top? Yeah, no problem. So, quantum computers use qubits, right? Qubits are in a state where you're not sure if they're 1 or 0, right? But they could be both. One way, like sometimes they're leaning to 1, sometimes they're leaning to 0, right? Now, for very specific math, it could be you basically you're using very specific math in the quantum field or in high level calculus to basically change that like leniency. Is it leaning towards 1 or 0? You're using math to kind of change that. And then when you look at it, depending on where it's leaning, it will decide what it is. If it's leaning more towards 1 and I look at it, it's going to become a 1. If it's leaning more towards 0 and I look at it, it becomes a 0. Right? And basically, you have to make very specific mathematical models for very specific problems. The kind of specific problems are stuff like logistics, aka the traveling salesman problem, or B, something like encryption or breaking encryption, or some stuff like simulation for certain things. So it's quantum computers are not good for everyday use. They're for very specific problems for very specific people, and that's that. There you go. That's all you need to know. Did you get that? Which parts didn't you get? You need me to do it again? Teehee. Sure, I get it. Yeah, you get it. 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 My back is in pain. Look, we're good. I guess something, sir. Don't accuse me of something I didn't do. I'm just. That's why I asked. That's why I asked if you got all that. Did you get all that? 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 What about this? Did you get all this? Shoots you with gun. The words that make the beat boop words easier. Yeah. It'd be cool to make a computer. It'd also be a pain in the ass. But it'd be cool. I'm dying. The red paper's on it. It's not impossible. Or is it? Now, the thing I don't want to understand, the thing I want to understand is how does machine code make the computer do stuff? Like, let's take the simplest example with an Arduino like chip. It's just a lot of wiring and or NOR chips together. No, yeah, I get that, but like the thing is like you can't once you have the chip, right? Like I have it. Let's say I have a chip, right? That I could code. It's a programmable chip. The wires in that are like predetermined, right? Like the code I write is not gonna like make new AND gates, right? So it's like how does the code make it so that whatever's happening goes to the right place? How does it do that? That's what I want to know. Or I feel like any minute now there's a pop quiz. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Transistors. What are transistors again? I'm just code guy. I don't know these things. Building block in modern electronics functioning as either an amplifier to increase the power of an electrical signal or a switch for the flow of current in a circuit. So basically, lots and lots of solid state switches. So basically, it just like I just have like a million ands and then like a million transistors, and I'm just depending on the code I write, I'm just like, yeah, transistor 1, 5, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 11, 223. Those ones are on, the rest are off. That's how it works. Outputs on the base has the control. What does it do though? What does it mean? What does it all mean? I don't get it. This shit's too complicated for me. I did want to make at some point. I wanted to make a keyboard. I wanted to make a keyboard that I could also like flip a switch, right? And then the keyboard would just like write by itself. Like I could record inputs or something, and then I could just press a button, and then it would repress those inputs. But it would be like the light would turn on. Like I have like a Python script, right? That would go through to the keyboard, and then it would turn on the lights of the specific keys, and then it would like the Python would emulate a keyboard. I wanted to do that before, but then I realized that like I couldn't find a chip that had enough inputs and outputs on it. Like the Mega 32 is not big enough, I don't think. 5 volts on the input collector, and when 0.5 volts are applied to the base, the transistor opens and lets the voltage pass through. The 0.5 remove the switch opens and no voltage goes through, so that's basic 1 and 0. It gets neat when you start stacking these in a way it creates and or none. Okay, so it's stacking transistors to create the gates. And then when you write code, you're writing the transistors to act in a certain way. Or like some of these are on, some of these are off. Okay. Okay. I get it. I get it. I get it now. It all makes sense. I understand it, but we're getting some very specific fields here. Yeah. I get it. That was always like my lack. That's like where my lack of understanding was. Like I understand computers. I understand. Like there are so many layers. It is a miracle that we have what we have in electronics. Like in computers, it is crazy that we're able to play video games on a computer. Because there are like so many layers. So many layers. Like already on the operating system, like just operating system, nothing else. It's like 8 layers minimum right there. Literally hammered a rock flat and zapped into printing the thing. I know. Like, bro, what are you talking about? That's what I mean, man. It's crazy. There we grow flat rocks. Yeah. Like people talk about like wanting to live in a fantasy world. It's like, bro, look around you. Look around you. We are literally living in a fantasy world. Electronics are like literally like tier 20 magic in a tier 9 world. In a tier 9 magic world, we are living with tier like 11 magic. Yeah, it takes silicon plate and etch transistors into it. Yep. Literally runes. They're literally magic runes that we're etching into the plates. All right. We took silicone. Okay. We're taking a stone and then we're writing runes into it. Okay. And then we are flowing our mana, aka electricity, through it to do fucking incantations. All right. You write the incantation to make it do beep boop. Exactly. You write incantations through the runes All right, and now I have a gun. Now I have a Tesla coil that could shoot you at Mach 10. All right, computers are crazy. We are literally living in a tier 11 magic world right now, and y'all don't even realize it. Always been drawn to the hardware side. Yeah, hardware's cool. For me, I was always drawn in by like the world of the world and the what is the word I'm looking for? For me, it was always like the creativity. Like I got in through video games because for me, I was like always wondering how video games were made, and I always like loved like the worlds, and I wanted to create my own worlds for people to explore. So that's how I got in. And then by the time I got older, other people were just going in because of the money, and then it made it harder for me to find a job, and now I'm crying. I'm still looking for a job. All these assholes taking the job. Ever seen the Altair 8800? Maybe? Let me see. Altair 8800. What the fuck? Is that a PC case? What is that? What is that? Oh, cool. Let me see here. Ooh. That looks cool. That's how you coded it. You manually wrote the ones and zeros. Oh my god. Oh, that's horrible. That's cool. That's really cool, but also ouch. Also ouch. But I also remember like they also had the strips. Like if you were doing computer science like early on, you would do it through the strips, right? That would be your code. And then you just have to like hope it worked because you couldn't really test it. You'd have to write it on like these like physical strips and like poke holes into it. And then you would submit that. Paper punch cards, yeah. What a time. What a time. That just reminded me. In college, I had a teacher. He's like my introduction to programming teacher. One of the nicest guys, like amazing guy, right? Some people didn't like him just because they were like little sissy babies and couldn't figure out how to do code by themselves. And then the teacher would come by, and then like if it wasn't like a small error, he wouldn't he'd like maybe give you a clue, but he wouldn't tell you the answer outright. And people got like kind of angry with that, but like I was like, that's good. That's how you should be learning. I was like, thank you, man. Anyway, I remember because he like showed us the punch cards, like when talking about like previous years and stuff. Because obviously at the time I was in college, we didn't do the punch cards. But I just remembered that like one time I like went up to him to like give him some stuff or something, and I was like, "How?" I was like, he was like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" And then he was like, "No." He was like, "Are you doing good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing good. Are you?" And like, "Are you?" Like, "How are you?" And he's like, and then he replied, "No." he like he was like smiling the entire time, but like he like shook it. He shook his head. He was like, "No." I was like, "No, no." What's wrong? About paper punch cards, they had indicators, so if there was an issue, it would tell you which card was fucked. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. I just remember. I just remember that. You doing good? Yeah. What about you? No. Nah. Yeah. He retired shortly after. Well, not shortly after. He retired during the pandemic. Yeah, he retired during the pandemic. I hope he's all right. I hope he's okay. He's a great teacher. I liked him a lot. I retired last year. Was pretty damn nice. Man, I wish I could retire, but I need to get a job first. I need to get a job to begin with before I could retire. It is what it is. Start saving early makes life much easier. Yeah. When you find a job. Yep. First problem. Find a job. Yeah. Yep. I'm hoping. I'm hoping I can find a job. It'd be pretty cool. I had one interview. If I got that job, man, I'd be living. I'd be living it big. I haven't had any future interviews though. So we're hoping. We're waiting and we're hoping. One day. One day. And while we wait, we work on Onwa. We make chat controller. We try and be better at talking. We try and be better at public speaking. The classic stuff, you know? Classic stuff. Ow. 12-hour stream writing the Millis code. It wouldn't take that long, maybe. I've thought of like doing longer streams because the problem is like if I just do long streams and like the novelty wears off, you know. The novelty. Right, my chat controlled controller until I lose my sanity. I can see it now. What I need to be doing is I need to like be doing maybe like planning my stuff more for like YouTube so I could get I could get some stuff, you know? I need to get that bag, man. I need to get that bag. I'm just kidding. I don't care about that bag. The only bag I care about is potato bag. I don't know. What bag should I be carrying for? I haven't thought that far ahead. Emotional baggage. True. That's true. That one's pretty important. That is a pretty important one. You are right. You're correct about that. YouTube and Twitch are difficult creatures. We've talked about it a few times. Twitch is more viewer interaction, but YouTube one's more be entertaining content. Yeah, I mean, what a lot of people do, a lot of streamers do, is because the thing is when you're doing this stuff right with like an idea of growth, even if you're not trying to like go for money, right? Like for me, like for example, for me, I would want to grow not necessarily to like be famous or be rich. I would want to grow just to like be able to do more things, be able to be more creative, and also to meet more people and yeah, just like be able to do more things, meet more people, and like Yeah. I don't know why I tried to keep going. Like that's it. It's just I want to be able to do more things, and you need more people to do those things sometimes, right? Like sometimes you need idea. Sometimes you come up with ideas that like require a bigger amount of people, or sometimes you need a bigger number so that you could work on uh you could like possibly have, I don't know. You know what I mean? There is scaling. Scaling is a thing. Like I could work with more people too if I had more people. More people equals bigger projects. Exactly. Right? So for me and for others, Twitch itself is not the best place for that, for growth. Streaming in general is usually not a great place for growth. Right? Not many people will find you through Twitch. So you need to find other things. YouTube is good for growth, supposedly. Same for TikTok and probably other locations as well. My problem is I am terrible at marketing. My problem is I don't know what I have to do. I don't know how to do it. And I don't know where to start. Mushrooms a hobby. It's something to do with my abundant free time. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. For me too, it's like something I want to do with my free time. Uh but I might as well like be doing stuff for it. So I need to do like a YouTube stuff. But like I'm not gonna lie to you, I despise editing. If I want to do it as a job, I have to set a schedule with at least a rough idea of what during the video. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of stuff like that too. Right now, what it's working like is I have a friend who is wanting to edit some stuff for me, but like there's no schedule for that stuff, right? Like he's not gonna edit stuff like every week for me or like he's like when he has free time he might edit a thing here or there, and that's helpful sometimes. Um, yeah, I guess I need to edit stuff for myself, but I hate editing. I hate editing. You have YouTube? Yeah, I have YouTube. I could put it in the chat. Wait, do I have? I do. Okay, great. There you go. Yeah, I have a VODs channel and I also have a regular YouTube channel. I don't have much on the regular YouTube channel. I used to upload some shorts, but I stopped. And right now I'm working on trying to be more entertaining or like come up with more bits to make more jokes so I could have more shorts. It was more so like just getting clips out. I was just kind of like getting clips out. That's more so what I'm doing now. I am trying to like get more clips out and so that I could feasibly in the future what I want is make like 2 to 3 jokes per stream that I could turn into clips. And then with that I'll be able to like make a surplus and post shorts every day. So right now I'm just like getting a stockpile until I could start doing that. And then I'll start posting the shorts every day. And for um I need to like learn. I need to learn to edit and learn to enjoy editing. I don't enjoy editing that much. Like sometimes I enjoy some parts, but overall I get like really impatient with it. That's obvious. That's like honestly why I prefer streaming because with streaming it's more so it's like an in the moment kind of thing, and that I could improve it in the moment too, right? like improving the ideas, improving how you entertain, coming up with some bits. Like that's easier for me than editing something. I'm a very in the moment kind of guy in that aspect. So that's how it works for me. I mean, try to edit any of my streams, I got nothing. Yep. No, editing it just takes a long time. And streams take a long time too. I don't record them. Yeah. It is what it is. I upload my VODs and I make the thumbnails for that my VODs. And that's like I'm not sure if that's helped me at all, but it's like at least I'm learning thumbnails and I'm learning titling from it. Most people won't watch it anyway just because it's like long hours. But at least I don't have to edit. At the very least. Yeah. I've made some videos on YouTube, like two audios and two videos. The two videos were edited by my friend, and the two audios were made completely by me. And I did enjoy working on the audios. But I'm kind of like I don't really want my YouTube to just be audios, you know what I mean? I don't want to just have like an audio like ASMR YouTube and then just like goofy streams that have nothing to do with that, right? Like I'm fine with doing audios, but I don't want to just have an audio YouTube because that feels weird. On my on my ASMR arc starting when I've debated doing more audios and then posting them to like their own YouTube channel. But I feel like if I should just use my regular video, my regular like, YouTube. Okay, let me restart. I should use my regular YouTube account since I don't upload anything there anyway. Right. I don't know. I don't know. But it was fun. It was fun working on the audios. Even if I think like obviously I think the VTuber wake up alarm is cringe personally, but there are people that do use it as their as their actual alarm. Marge, who sometimes appears in the chat, does use it as their alarm. So I'll all good for them. The if Elden Ring had a secret NPC audio, that one was fun. I liked that one. I think there could have been more work done on like thumbnail and stuff, but by itself it was fun to do and I like how it turned out for the little experience I have. I might do more audios in the future, but I want to have more like just regular videos, but I can't. I can't bring myself to edit. It's just it's so boring to edit. Editing is so boring. I can't bring myself to do it. Yeah. But I have to do that and then also stuff like Twitter. I have to do my Twitter more. What software do you use? I use DaVinci Resolve. I think for me, I think it might just be scrubbing. I think scrubbing is the hard part. Because if I'm turning a stream if I'm turning a stream into a video, then I have to actually find the little moments. Yeah, it's finding the moments that like work. It's turning 3 hours into like, let's say 20 minutes. It could like even 10 minutes, like 10 minutes or 10 to 20. Turning 3 hours into 10 and 20 minutes. That's the hard part. That's why I need to um that's why I'm like trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on like different things for streaming. Trying to become more entertaining. Because if I become like if I am able to tell more jokes more often, if I'm able to like make more jokes and like come up with stuff that I think is funny, and then also secondarily, using stuff like stream markers more often, if I'm able to do both of those things, then it's much easier to come up with that stuff, right? Because then afterwards, I could just look at my stream markers, remember the jokes I made, and then cut out everything else. And then it becomes much easier to edit, right? Because then I don't have to scrub through the video. I could just like look at the parts where I have that, look at the parts where I don't talk much, try and keep the beginning and the end just for extra stuff. Boom, delete, easy. Also, especially since usually for the first hour, I'm just chatting. I was watching a podcast where a streamer who would start their stream with the intent of making 2 to 3 videos per stream. They had a rough idea of what parts they would cut up and edit into videos. Yeah, yeah, I've heard of that. A lot of people do that. Yeah, I doubt I could be that organized too. I think I could have some organization. I could help. I could probably like over time, if I do this, if I do get better at this, I could probably do that too. But it's very much a thing that like it's a work. We have to work on it over time, right? Yeah. I mean, luckily I have. This would be more like 2 hours because usually I spend the first hour just chatting and then I play the game. But like, yeah. Well, it'd be 2 to 3 hours, and then I have to turn into 10 to 20 minutes. Yeah. And there's also the clips, too. I not want to. I'm focusing more on like entertainment and like getting little bits out for clips and stuff. I think that's good for now. That's like the goal, but the goal is taking a long time. Yeah. Yep. 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 How long you been streaming? Like 3 years. Slow growth. It's very slow growth. Because like I said, I'm not really like working that well on it. Because also I should be like making like Twitter posts and stuff, but like I can't like even think of what to post. I need to be making Twitter posts that like involve me or my niche or whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. It's weird because I'm like in like a weird like double state where like I think a lot about that growth, but then I'm also like don't really care about it. Because I just like hanging out with you guys and like streaming. Streaming is just fun. It's just a fun pastime. I like to do it. But also, like, I might as well be thinking about it, so I do. Yeah, but I'm streaming for. I've been streaming for like around 2 to 3 years. I could definitely. There's definitely a lot of places to improve. But it's the type of thing where like I kind of like want. I like I don't need it, but I do in a way kind of need help from others, or at least just like knowledge. I need knowledge from others. I need outside knowledge for that stuff. I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. Yeah, but you could tell like if you look at my YouTube, like my main YouTube channel, it is the thumbnails like have improved. Like if you look at this, if you look at the first one, the VTuber wake up alarm, and then you look at the Minecraft, but my controls keep changing. Night and day, really. Food does sound good. I know. Yeah, it's like night and day. The thumbnail is way better now than what it used to be. The other one's not bad. I'm not creative enough for all that. I'd probably have just a black box with white text saying video. I mean, honestly, baller idea. I think it's probably the greatest thumbnail of all time. Ugh. Ooh. 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 There's lots to work on. Lots and lots and lots to work on. I need to just like edit though. I need to just like get down in the dumps. Get down and get dirty. Start editing my videos. That's what I need to do. But I could very quickly see how like if I was like at X point, if I was like slightly just streaming yourself editing videos, what's the worst that could happen? True. That's true. I could do that. Honestly, it'd probably be better to do that because then I would like have people there that I could talk to and be like, I'm going insane and be like, yeah, bro, same. You're right. I could do that. I could. It'd be nice, like if I had like right now, every Onwa thing is saving up. I'm saving up all the Onwa things, right, for a live 2D VTuber model, so I could be moving, schmoving. I think that's gonna help in a certain way. Like the expressiveness is gonna help with some of that entertainment aspect. It was stupid expensive. Yep. I'm like halfway there. The price that I found some people that like the price would be around 600 something, and I have around 300 something. So I'm like halfway there. Like halfway there. So like any money that I make from Onwa stuff goes straight into that. So like bits, like the bits I got from LOL gaming over there, that's going straight into the Onwa Live 2D fund. And any like subscriber stuff I get going straight there. Any commissions I get straight there. I don't get a lot of those, which is why it's taking so long. But that's where it all goes. It's all going there. And then after that, I think the like what would happen is like the first thing I would probably do is get an editor. I think the first thing I do once I like start making some money is get someone to edit video. And then whenever I have the money, get someone to edit video. Oh, I have more money, get someone to edit a video. That's how I think that's how I'll be spending it. Whenever I make any money off Onwa after Live 2D, it's just get editor. Uh, I've heard some of those models are in the thousands. Yep, some of those are in the thousands. Some of those are in like the like 10,000. Like some people spend like 20,000. I dropped the thing. Oh no. My kitty lost its ear. My Lego kitty it lost its ear. It might have gone under the desk. Oh no. Alright, I'll have to look afterwards. I'll have to look after the stream if I even remember. Whoop. Okay, from where are you planning on starting on that code, or is that tomorrow's problem? That is future Onwa problem. That's very much a future Onwa problem. I mean, honestly, I might raid just because I can't think of what to do. I might leave this for as a 2-hour stream today. I think it's a 2-hour stream kind of day. I don't know though. I don't know. Ugh, next week I might do. Maybe I'll do it. You're the streamer. I am the streamer. Next week I might do an editing stream. I guess. Well, we'll test the waters. Test the waters and see. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Oh, that was almost the perfect rectangle. FK, if you're naive, when I get back, have a good one. Thank you. You have a good one too, man. I don't know what you're doing. Probably getting food. Have a good food. Have a good whatever you're doing. I'll probably be raiding out now. All right, where is it? We're gonna go to the classic person that we raid, the classic artist. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Sorry that this was shorter than usual. But it was fun. It was fun rambling. It was a fun rambling time. And I hope that you guys have fun seeing Bin. Next week we're doing more things. Yeah. Thank you for the bits again, Gaiman, if you're still there. If you're not, then still thank you. But you're not there, so you can't hear it. And goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, bye. Goodbye now. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.